Hello, Rick Komarek, Certified Financial Planner, bringing you sort of a market update on what's going on right now, 2020, with the market and giving some historical context on that. So with that, we have a chart here titled S&P 500 Intra-Year Declines versus Calendar Year Returns. What this chart documents is the declines that occurred in any given year during that year. Those are shown in red and in the little dot here on the bottom of the chart. The bars in gray, typically on the top of the chart, represent how the calendar year ended. So for example, back in 1987, we had a 34% drop in the US stock market during that year. It was a really bad decline, of course. However, that particular year actually ended 2% to the positive. So just because there was a decline during the year doesn't mean that the year will end on a negative basis. Fast forward to some more recent time periods, there's another 34% drop. Interesting, that same number happened around 2003. However, the year ended negative 23, so certainly was a down year. However, it did recover some of the losses that occurred during the worst time during that year. And then it's also interesting to note that the following year had a 14% drop during that year. However, that year it actually ended up positive 26%. Another time frame, probably the worst one that we can look at, is the 2008 market there at a 49% decrease during that year. 50% happened during that year. However, it ended the year negative 38, so it recouped about 9% or so of that, or 11% rather, of that decline. What I find most fascinating is the following year, 28% decline that next year. That was huge. Up to that point, looking at this time period, that was like 1, 2, 3, 4. That was basically the fifth largest drop that had occurred. However, that particular year, by the time the year was over, ended on a positive note, 23%. So that is just extremely impressive to see such a large decline happen during the year, and yet the year actually end on a positive note. Contrast that with where we are right now. Here's the update. We saw a 34% decrease so far this year. Currently, as of this data, it was down 31%, so came back a little bit. How will the year end? We don't know. That's sort of the point of this chart, is even during some of the worst declines, it recovered some, if not all the way in certain instances. So we don't know how the year will end. So the best plan is to have a plan and just to hang tight, and we're doing the best we can to manage this situation. If you have any questions about your current financial situation or the markets, the economies, retirement, feel free to reach out to me. Most of all, make sure your family is safe and cared for.